Welcome to Alicante in Spain, which is the second port stop on my Marella Explorer repositioning cruise. And much like the previous port day in Palermo, Sicily, time here will be at a premium, as I only had half a day. And what was really helpful was that somebody from the local tourist information centre was handing out free maps of the city. The cruise port is just over a mile away from the city centre, and there's a free shuttle bus available here. Although if you'd like to walk into the city centre, you're free to do so. And from here you can see the Santa Barbara Castle off in the distance. The shuttle drops passengers off at the entrance of the port, and this will be where you pick it up again after your time off of the ship. And from here it's just a short walk into the city centre. The dome building ahead is Casa Carbonell, and is one of the most striking buildings in Alicante. The harbour here is very pretty and offers sightseeing boat tours along the coast. The Esplanada de España is one of the most iconic areas of the city. It's 600 metres in length and runs parallel to the port. It's lined with 2 rows of palm trees on either side, and the floor is decorated with 6.5 million marble tiles, which form this wave effect to mimic the Mediterranean Sea. On the opposite side of the port are dozens of bars, restaurants and souvenir shops. And it's easy to see how this will be a very popular place during the evenings. And while this was a fantastic place to go for a morning stroll, there was much more to see in Alicante. And I'm not talking about McDonald's. The Plaza de Gabriel Miro is one of the most beautiful here and is home to the Angradura water fountain. It was originally built in the 19th century and the fountain was added in 1918. The plaza was then renovated a couple of years later with benches and flower beds added. Something else that this plaza is renowned for are these huge ficus trees. These Moreton Bay or Australian Banyan Trees provide plenty of shade during the hot summer months. And there are 23 of these monumental trees across Alicante. The next place I wanted to visit was Mushroom Street, which as you can see is very aptly named. They were installed here in 2016 as a tourist attraction to revitalise a quaint old town alleyway. And just a few steps away is Calle Castaños. With its many bars and restaurants, it's become the hub of Alicante's bustling nightlife. But it's obviously much quieter at this time of the day. So by now I was starting to get a little bit peckish, so it's time to get something to eat. There actually wasn't a lot of places open, so we just grabbed the table here. The waitress here was friendly and the choice on the breakfast menu seemed pretty decent. I went for a Diet Coke and the Iberian ham toast, which was actually tastier than it looked. Just a few steps away is Teatro Principal de Alicante, which is the main theatre, which was opened in 1847 and features 6 of these imposing Doric columns. The building was partially destroyed during the Spanish Civil War and was restored in the early 1940s. The theatre has musicals, comedies, opera and plays performed here regularly. I then walked across this plaza to take a look at the mural of Salvador Dali. There seems to be palm trees nearly everywhere you look here. And somewhere I really wanted to visit was the Alicante Central Market. The market is split over 2 levels, so I headed up the escalator to the first floor. There are nearly 300 stalls here that occupy the 11,000 square metres of the market. On this level, the stalls are selling meat, sausages, poultry and eggs. Smoked bonito, which is a skipjack tuna, was very popular here and was available on several stalls. There's also this outdoor terrace area where you can grab a drink and check out the flower stalls. And this area is renowned for being a popular place to meet up with family and friends. The market is very busy and is one of the most popular destinations for both locals and tourists alike. And after another look round on this level, I went down to see what was on offer on the ground floor. The stalls down here were selling fresh fruit, vegetables, fish and seafood. And I'm going to be completely honest here, if you don't like the smell of the fish, this is definitely the place you shouldn't be coming. But as someone who loves seafood, this was right up my street. My Spanish isn't great, so I couldn't work out why there were so many different types of eggs. If you know, please let me know in the comments below. The choice of fruits and vegetables was vast, not like some of the rather lacklustre efforts in the supermarkets back home. I'll be honest, I've got no idea what this is. And I think that this stall was the prettiest that I saw. I had a really great time exploring the market. It's a bit of a shame, but I don't have anything like this where I live. If you have a great market near where you live, please let me know in the comments below. And this is the recently pedestrianised Avenue de la Constitution. And it's part of Alicante's plan to make the city more accessible to people over vehicles. I started to head back towards the ship along the Esplanade. I'd wanted to grab a drink here, but as time was pressing, I decided to give that a swerve. And as you may have seen in some of my previous videos, I do love going to the spa. However, as this was the last day of my cruise, I decided to give it a miss this time. Please join me in the second half of this video, where I experience the great musical afternoon tea, have dinner at the incredible Pan-Asian Corala, and see Rockology, the best show of the cruise. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on.